FOC, wow. FOC. All right, here we go.
Call the Economic Development Committee to order. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Palomera.
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested an excuse. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Present, thank you.
Commissioner Kenlock.
Present.
Commissioner Baydoun.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Here.
Chair Anderson.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chair's remarks.
I have nothing at this time.
C,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
approval of the June 24th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Do I have a motion to approve those? It's been moved and supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Seeing none, minutes have been approved. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Next item.
Moving to item 1 under new business, forwarding the monthly operating reports for the Guardian Building and First Street parking deck from July 2023 through April 2025.
Everyone should have received a little footnote that those reports are all rolled into one, but if you want to get a copy of them, they're so large because there were a number of months, let's see, June, about 2 years worth, I say 23 to 25 to current day, and they had not been submitted to us for receive and file until now, but they can be provided to you if you'd like to see them. Anyway, that's receive and file. We should, yeah, a motion to approve.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Seeing none, they're received and filed. Next item.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a professional services contract with AKT Peerless Environmental and Energy Services to allocate funding under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act to continue conducting eligible assessment-related activities as authorized by the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act.
Thank you. Who do we have here? You identify yourself for the record, so.
So, good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Lucius Anthony. I'm the Assistant Director for Economic Vitality.
Okay. Give us a brief description of what we're doing here.
Yeah, you have AKT Peerless agreement before you and also pension agreement before you. After being awarded a $1 million EPA assessment grant, we issued an RFP to solicit vendors. Ultimately, vendors would do the environmental testing whenever we receive projects. At that time, we had received 6 vendors. All vendors were qualified and responded to the initial RFP. So today we have 2 of the firms, of the vendors that have been actively participants. They have brought projects to us, and they have just about reached that cap. What we did was with the 6 vendors, we ultimately divided those funds. It wasn't the entire $1 million. We divided it into, gave $136,000 to each vendor. And ultimately, both AKT and also pension has been pretty much bringing projects for us to fund. How it works is ultimately the vendors can bring projects to us, but also projects can submit a proposal or application via our VA, our online portal. Once we vet those projects, we pretty much issue a notice to proceed. Some of the most noticeable projects that we funded, first, I would like to mention majority of the projects have been housing projects, mixed-use projects, cafes, restaurants, and then even some community centers as well. So some of the most noticeable projects we have funded has been the Freedom House of Detroit, actually the Detroit Football Club Stadium. We funded under this grant. When you look at Outer County, we have funded some projects in Inkster, right there between Michigan Ave and Inkster Road, as well as Canton, the landfill that they have in Canton, and also Garden City, right there on Ford Road and Meadow Belt as well. So again, we are requesting your support and approval to amend both AKT Pierce list and also pension to kind of continue those environmental work.
Any questions by commissioners?
Move approval of items 2 and 3.
Support.
Seeing no questions, or I will move to, let's have a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
I think I probably didn't get we did get a motion to approve. All those, yeah, and then wanted to, all those in favor? Aye. All those, anyone opposed? Seeing none, those two items are approved. Next item.
Yes. No, oh, wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we already discussed it.
What's that?
We already discussed it, so we didn't have to.
Oh, okay. Next item.
Moving to item 4 on the addenda, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 3-year professional services contract with TDA Consulting LLC to continue to provide consulting and technical assistance related services for the county's affordable housing programs and initiatives.
Okay, anyone? You're here to identify yourself, please. You're here to speak on this item.
Yes, I'm Betsy Palazzola. I'm the Division Director for Community Development. We are sort of a joint sponsor of this item along with Economic Vitality.
Okay. Once again, if you would,
Yeah, Lucius Anthony, Assistant Director for Economic Vitality.
who would like to start off by explaining this?
Yeah, I'll kickstart us here. Similar with the AKT and pension agreement, we also issued an RFP for affordable housing related services. Ultimately, we had 2 vendors that responded to the RFP. And after the evaluation, TDA was awarded that contract. Initially, it was for $125,000 with the thought to assess us in upstanding the Wayne County Housing Commission. After introducing TDA to other departments, particularly our Community Development Department, we did find where we could improve in certain processes throughout our other HUD federal programs. So TDA has been assisting with those services as well. Again, when you look at $125,000, and you know, it goes far in my bank account, but when you look holistically in regards to services, it doesn't go quite far, particularly when we talk about shortly after receiving, after the contract was executed, we were notified of a community development DR grant, disaster recovery grant, which the county was awarded just over $70 million. So again, you might have in front of you where a good portion of those funds will be going towards TDA to help us with the policies, procedures, you know, a number of services under that program.
Okay, I don't remember having seen this before, but is this something new? Is it with this contract with this company, or is this like a continuation?
It is an amendment. So it is an amendment under the initial
Okay.
initial RFP. They will be providing those same services that was highlighted under the initial
Thank you.
RFP.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything?
I think Lucius covered it well. This is a contractor that has really proven its worth. They're super valuable. They have really good local experience as well as federal. They are really helping us add capacity, especially until we can get more people hired. We had the conversation last week even about how they're sort of in the business of working their way out of contracts. They help jurisdictions get their programs spruced up and their policies, updated, and then they are able to sort of sunset, which is our goal here.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, and welcome to the committee.
Thank you. Thank you. So Mr. Anthony, thank you for the explanation. I did have two questions. One, you said that there were two vendors. Was there a local vendor who applied as well?
No, when you're talking about the services we need, this is a expertise field. So it was only two vendors, no local.
Okay. And then my other question is, can you give examples as you did with the other action items in terms of the type of assistance-related services that are being provided through this company?
Yeah, so far, particularly when we talk about the Housing Commission, they provided guidance on the formation of the Wayne County History Commission, the Housing Commission, I'm sorry. They have also assisted with community development in regards to the regulation and requirements of their home program. They advise staff, regularly on policy development, underwriting for projects, drafting, particularly with the recent RFP of the rental development and rehabilitation program. So again, they're anything related to housing, they're pretty much our go-to as far as guidance.
Is that all you have, Commissioner? Commissioner Wilson?
Thank you, Chair Anderson. Commissioner Mayberry, that was, first of all, that was the question I was going to ask because I'm looking for, obviously, there's a difference of about 685,000 approximately between 125,000 and 815,000. So it's like that's a substantial amount. Obviously, you just exposed your technical related assistance services that you're going to be, it's going to be contained within this gap. So with that being said, how do we, I mean, obviously a line item. I mean, you don't have, you charge a consultant 20,000 or you charge a consultant 50,000. This seems to be very broad in its spectrum. 685,000, I believe I added up. That's a big field to play with. I'm just sort of curious, like Commissioner Mayberry, this is a substantial amount. So how do we miss the mark by almost $700,000? I'm just somewhat confounded. So please enunciate.
Yeah,
to the group.
Yeah, just to highlight, initially when we executed the agreement, the focus was the Housing Commission. And as I highlighted earlier, after we, TDA sat down with different departments, particularly community development, which they play a big role in our housing initiative plans moving forward, we did find, some areas where we can improve, particularly as it comes to guidance, policy, underwriting, right? So again, a lot of that portion is there as well. But we did try to break down the funds for you as well. This isn't just, $800, $15,000 contract. It is a kind of pay based upon service, right? As we highlighted here, roughly, again, when you're talking about $70 million with the community development, the disaster recovery grant, again, we got to break down where a good chunk of that is related towards admin, particularly for that initiative, which we haven't kind of officially jump-started it, right? But we are in those planning stages. So we did break it down as far as 50,000 for community development, again, just that oversight and compliance piece, and $140,000 for the home ARPA as well. So again, these are different programs within our HUD, our community development division under HUD. Again, these funds are allocated from the federal government as well.
Okay, Mr. Chair. Okay, so a few months back, you all came, or the Economic Development came and talked about some of our housing funds that were in jeopardy because they weren't used within a certain time frame. That was discovered. And from what I understand, if you can elaborate on that, they're the consultants assisting the department with actually getting all that together as well. Also, you have a situation where we were, when ARPA first started under a previous administration economic development department, those ARPA projects were being brought to us basically willy-nilly. And that's the case. They were brought willy-nilly. When I say willy-nilly, there was no underwriting. And if you can recall, some of those ARPA projects early on, we had to reprogram those of sort. So from what my understanding is, this organization actually vet, double check, recheck those various projects, the ARPA projects, as well as the what's that new fund? The
DR?
Disaster recovery.
no, not disaster, that part, but the other, the special, the you know, where we reallocated the ARPA dollars of fund, I forget that fund, that part. So all of those are being underwritten, checked and rechecked, and I absolutely appreciate that part as relates to the work that they're doing there. So that's what I know as relates to the importance of this contract.
Mr. Chair? If I may, just to also somewhat, address, I would agree with what you've said. I also just to Commissioner Wilson's questions, one of the things to really emphasize here, this is a not to exceed contract. This is not a contract where we have some full itemized scope of services where every single thing is accounted for and we're for sure paying them all this money. This is also a contract that runs until 2027. So if you think about all the programs that we have, again, the DR funding is a huge lift. They were really instrumental in helping us do the 3.5% first baby step. And we know that we're going to need support to successfully get that rest of the program stood up. So this is it's also, it takes a lot of time to amend contracts and to come back and forth and to renegotiate everything. So we also sort of made sure that we were being like conservative in our estimate of what we thought we might need. But we really actually, I would say, don't at this date anticipate probably using every single cent of this. We're certainly not on the hook to do so. But yes, so the home funding, that's a huge lift that we have to really develop that program so that we're running an affordable housing program in the way that we should be as the county year after year after year. Same thing with the home ARP funds. There's going to be another item coming to you guys really soon. HUD just discovered an extra $15,000 that we have to. So we're going to be coming to you with this like weirdo little thing soon. So all these old programs that the county has not had good capacity. We've had COVID, we had a lot of turnover. We're really trying to like get ourselves to a new level. And again, like I said, this is a capacity add temporary measure while we can get those programs in place and then hire staff to run those programs. And also they have, they're not a locally based company, but one of our, the top consultants assigned to us is a local individual, and he actually comes with the depth of experience from the city of Detroit, and he's a Metro Detroit resident. I'm not sure exactly where he lives, but we do have some local support as well.
Mr. Wilson, does that answer your question? Okay. Yeah. If I could, let me just ask our council, she's want to be recognized. Thank you.
Through the chair to this honorable body, as a follow-up to Commissioner Wilson's question, so the original contract was $125,000 for 3 years, which would get about $40,000 a year. They're coming now to add $640,000. They're not changing the scope of services. So the original contract included the home projects. It included CDBG and that CDBG DR program, which was the new $70 million that came before us. So the scope isn't changing, the time period isn't changing. So the question then becomes, why was the original contract for $125,000, knowing you had this entire scope for a 3-year period, to come back and add $640,000 now? So it's not clear if the procurement ordinance was violated. The procurement ordinance says you're supposed to reasonably anticipate your needs and come to the commission for that. You can't do a small contract for 125, which happened to be under the delegated authority amount of 150, and then come back later and say, oh, we want to add all this other stuff, when the time period hasn't changed and the scope of services hasn't changed. So there's just a concern with regards to that original awarding of that contract and whether that amount was reasonable, or was that some intentional matter to avoid coming to the commission initially just to get it started and then come back later. Again, nothing to do with the vendor and the services they're providing. I'm sure that these services are needed. The department has acknowledged that they need some level of staff augmentation due to their low staffing, so that's part of the reason they need the contract. But the concern is just that original award for 3 years for $125,000, $40,000 a year when you had that entire scope of services.
I think if we look back, we'll see there were other examples of where this initial amount, not simply on this with the economic development. But anyway, I think that's one of the things that with approving, authority to go ahead and start these contracts and raising the lid on the amount creates a problem. But I appreciate that. And anyone else want to make a motion or?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I want to go back to Commissioner Peterson.
Yeah, just
Mayberry.
Just one last thing, and so thank you for lifting up that there was a local person on the project. I do see that there is a subcontract with another company that is not local as well. And I just want us to be mindful that if we have the skill locally, even in the space where we could do subcontract because they may not have the bandwidth, I think that should be strongly encouraged. Because I do know, as often as we're out in the communities, we hear oftentimes that there are resources here, there are SMEs here, and they are oftentimes overlooked for work that they could perform, even if it's not at scale. So just wanted to go on the record for saying that.
Thank you. Council, do you see any issue with us going ahead and improving this as it is? I know you were I believe, just trying to make a point of the way the process did not work according to what we would expect it to work.
Well, I would say in accordance with the ordinance that you put in place. So I know that there's been a change in leadership. Perhaps when the new leadership for the department is established, there can be some discussions to ensure that they understand the ordinance, perhaps a discussion with the CEO's office, just to ensure these type of things don't happen in the future. Because this appears to be a contract that should have come to you, even if it was $300,000 initially or something. Seems like something that should have been submitted to the commission before it was initiated. So I
Okay.
think once some leadership and they get some things determined in the department, we can follow up and maybe have some discussions just to make sure that something like this doesn't happen in the future.
Good.
And maybe even a conversation with procurement, because they actually did issue the award for the contract, and maybe they could have been a gatekeeper to say, hey, that amount wasn't reasonable.
Good point. We have a motion to approve.
Yes, I'm move to approve with the caveat that our staff meet with procurement as well as someone in the CEO's office to spell out and have a conversation about the intent of the procurement ordinance.
I support that motion.
We have that. That'll hopefully give us some information back. With that, we have a motion and supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any,
Let the record reflect that I plan to abstain on this because I didn't have sufficient information to make an intelligent determination based on what I read, what I'm hearing here.
please record Commissioner Wilson as an abstention.
Duly noted.
Again, we've got a majority motion to approve, and it's been passed. This item is resolved. Next item on the agenda.
Moving back to the agenda, F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I have none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Is there anyone in the audience or anyone online? Do you show anyone online?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Okay. Seeing none. Motion to move on to the agenda, move the agenda.
Adjournment.
Support. So we have a motion to